Howdy, folks. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Howdy, folks. I'm Black Dragon, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Black Dragon Biker News. This is the Black Dragon Biker News Network. Biker News you can trust. And as always, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in from wherever it is in the world that you happen to be as I introduce my co-host, Mike Ball. It's Black Dragon and Mike Ball. Monday through Friday, bringing you all the biker news that's out there for y'all, coast to coast and across the world. Interesting things and pretty girls, motorcycles and things, as we hear the thing go ching-a-ling. Me and Mike Ball out here. Black Ball and Black Dragon, the #1 biker news show in all the world. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Check us out on our podcast. And just hang out with us every day. Yeah.
Now that was epic. Loved it. Loved it. 10 out of 10. That's one for the books.
That was all right. So what's up with you, man?
Man, I've it's been pretty hectic actually ever since yesterday, doing the whole anniversary, being the 3rd year. That video kind of went crazy, and so I've been responding to a lot of comments, to all the direct messages, the people. It's been a blessing, man. It's been an absolute blessing. So it's another one of those realizers, like how lucky, I still wake up every single day just completely blessed, but it gives another heavy reminder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, man. I know that when I lost my thumb, and a piece of my thumb, and it was a lot for me, man. When I lost a piece of my thumb, it was life changing, and I everything changed from the stuff that I did, because I work with my hands, and so it was difficult, and now, Mike, 30 years later, it was almost like 30 years ago that I lost my piece of my thumb.
28 years. Yes, we figured that out.
Did we? So now 28 years later, like, I don't even really think about it all that much. So I don't know if you're ever going to not think about your leg all that much, but.
Right. I mean, it's become a way of life for me. It's just like, for me, I think of it as like putting on your shoes and then taking off your shoes at the end of the day. That's the way I look at it. It's all the mindset. It's way that you do perspective of things. You can make it seem like it's the worst thing in the world, or you can decide you can look at things differently, where it's actually in a positive way.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know, bro, but I'm glad you're with me, man. Some things, I probably never would have met you. I probably never would have met you if that hadn't happened. So,
right.
So I'm glad to have met you. Hey, listen,
vice versa.
Biker news today is kind of interesting. We have in the news here, and let me bring this up for you, Mike, so you can take control of it.
Yep.
It's a story about the Pagans this morning, and it says Pagan's Motorcycle Club involved in the shooting at Wawa in Delaware County, police said. So we'll just play what the news folks are saying here.
And it's muted down there, by the way.
Come back. Thank you. We'll come back afterwards and see what we talk about on the other side. Here we go.
They now know who was involved in a fight at a Wawa that escalated to gunfire. This is the video here showing several men in the parking lot of that Ridley Park location on Sunday. They begin fighting. Then one of them fires a shot. Tonight, police believe the men are all involved in a motorcycle gang linked to several violent incidents. Action News reporter Leland Pinder live where it all happened tonight. Leland, what are police telling you right now?
Well, Brian, one person was shot here Sunday, and that person will be okay, but police say they are not cooperating with the investigation, providing no information. Now, as far as who's involved, police have not identified those people publicly, but they say they know who they're dealing with, and charges are pending. Shots fired behind a Wawa in Ridley Park, Delaware County. Viewer video shows two groups fighting leading up to the frightening moments.
For it to be happening right behind this gas station, that's really dangerous to the whole community.
Ridley Township police say everyone involved are either current or former members of the Pagan's Motorcycle Club. It was just before 3:30 p.m. Sunday when officers were called to the scene.
It's concerning, especially because it happened in broad daylight.
By the time officers arrived, no one was there, but they later learned a man showed up at Taylor Hospital shot in the leg. It's under investigation why the men were fighting and who did the shooting. Altogether, 8 people were involved.
Every day you go out, anything can happen. So you try to take precautions as far as making sure you're safe.
It's not the first time the Pagan's motorcycle gang has drawn attention in the area. Most recently in 2020, organizers of Roar to the Shore had permits denied in Wildwood, New Jersey, after the Pagans held its national convention during the event the year before. At the time, the New Jersey State Commission of Investigations had recently released a report detailing a string of violent incidents allegedly connected to the Pagans. At this Ridley Park Wawa, there is relief no one else was hurt.
Hopefully it does not keep happening.
Yeah, police do tell me this is certainly a rare kind of an incident here. They also today would not interview about this case with me, but they did tell me it is very active. And they also say it appears that just one of the people involved here is from this area. Live in Ridley Park, Leland Pender, Channel 6 Action News. Brian.
Okay.
Yeah. So what'd you get from that?
Oh no, I want to hear what you've got to say first.
I don't really have like, okay, so there's a shooting. So I guess
Yeah, I mean, listen, like I always say with shootings and stuff that happens on the streets, I can never make excuses for what happens out on the street. You know, there's always unique situations and what's going on. Who knows what's fully to the fullest extent.
It seems like it was like maybe an internal thing because it says, according to police, everyone involved knew each other and were either current or former members of the club. So it's concerning, especially because it happened in broad daylight. But it didn't seem to happen to anybody except those folks in the club. When the police got there, in fact, no one was there. But
Wow.
Officers did observe bloodstains. Next to a parked motorcycle. So of course the guy was mad because it happened next to the store, but it didn't seem to have spilled over to anybody. Officers were later advised gunshot victim was being treated at a Taylor hospital. The man had been shot in the leg, but nobody is true to a club. Nobody's going to be talking, and that's why we get so mad when we do talk.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a code that we live by.
So whenever they do this, they go back to. They always do this kind of thing here. They got to add drama to it because in this, that's the story. But then they add, here's the addition. The shooting victim was one of 4 adult males who participated in a group assault of another man in Wawa parking lot. Nothing that had anything to do with that one. But police say, according to witnesses and the video, 3 other individuals who had been talking with the man under assault began to punch and kick the initial aggressor. Police say the initial aggressor pulled out a gun and shot a man in the leg. Everyone involved then fled the scene. So, I guess that's just the way we deal with things today. Nobody takes a tail whooping no more.
Right.
No,
it comes straight out as like, oh, you're gonna hit me kind of thing. People pull.
People pull. Used to be, you pulled your dukes out, but I gotta say, a lot of these guys are older now, right? And when you get older, and you got high blood pressure, diabetes, a big old fat gut hanging over your gut, hanging over your belt and bad knees. How many people are you? I mean,
Yeah.
in my mind, I'm as good as I ever was.
Right. No, I get what you're saying, but I
But
also
when the real thing comes out, am I snapping as hard as I used to? Probably
but
not.
I gotta admit that the younger guys in my age bracket, they're more quick to pull a weapon than I think most. I think that they are not as willing to use that as a complete last line, like in the way that we think tactical. I don't think that they're using it as the very last line of defense. I think that that is the first thing to pull out to be like, hey, who's boss here? And I think that's the wrong thing to do.
I don't know. I don't really hang out as much as I used to on the set.
Right.
Um, Mostly, I just go to my clubhouse or one of my club brothers' clubhouses. I don't really go out on the open set as
Right.
much as I used to be out there every night,
Mm-hmm.
and definitely all weekend. I would get started on a Friday and wouldn't come back home till Monday to go to work. So, but I
Oh, you lagging. Oh, here goes BD with his internet that is like from the 1920s. Yeah, this guy. He suffers. He suffers, man. He suffers. It's all right. You're welcome back, kind sir. You're just nice and fuzzy now. Oh, and then we lost you again. You know what? Just refresh at this point. Yeah. We're just gonna have him you know what I mean, refresh. If you're too old for an ass whooping, maybe it's time to reflect on your life choices. Hey, actually, that's a good, valid point, Steve. I gotta hand it to you.
like I
What's
shouldn't be
going on?
lagging. We just
Well, it shouldn't be.
we just rebooted everything. We rebooted everything before we came on board.
Hey, it is what it is.
Keep going, Mike Ball. So no matter what is asked, this is the last thing I saw you looking at. No matter what is asked by Elio, I never tell him anything. It's either I saw nothing, I don't know anything, or I refuse to answer questions without an attorney present to represent me. He just doesn't talk.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you one thing that was kind of funny. We had my entire pack get pulled over at a gas station, which is illegal. You can't just pull over an entire pack. And so, anyways, they pull us up, and I'm sitting on my bike, and they come walking up to me, and they're like, "Hey, they wanted to start asking me questions." And I just looked up and I said, "You know how this is gonna go. I'm just gonna go
Yeah,
ahead
we're
and
gonna
sit
pull out our
here."
bird clubs and beat your.
Right. No, no, no. It was like, no, you know how this goes. I'm going to sit right here. You do what you need to do, but that's it. And then they tried to press me, and I was amputated at the time. And then I looked down. I said, is that how you just going to treat people? You know what I mean? And he was like, whoa. And then all of a sudden their tone changed. They asked me all about this. And I'm like, listen, I'm not here for no conversation. Do what you guys need to do so we can get on our way.
Are you hardcore like that with the cops, Mike? That's
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't mess around with no cops. Not like
wow.
that.
Okay. All right. Okay. This guy, East
I'll
Coast.
be nice to them, but like I respect that they've got a job to do.
Mhm.
But I also have a job to do. And I'm not gonna sit here and talk to them like they're my friend. They're fishing. That's what they do. They're not your friend.
True. The East Coast lethal, East Coast less lethal says then the clubs are wondering why people aren't joining. Somebody else asked me today about the spiraling of members coming into clubs. I think it's a whole lot of reasons, but clubs do seem to be losing or not being able to recruit new members. It does seem like that. So
Yeah.
Stevie said, if you're too old for an ass whooping, maybe it's time to
Yeah.
reflect.
And that's something I said when you lost internet and you came back. I
Oh, my
highlighted
goodness.
that and I said, Steve, you actually got a good point there. You know what I mean? You've got that's a valid point. Yeah,
So,
a couple of people have been saying you are on dial-up.
so here's what's funny about this, Bolo. Mike Ball knows nothing about this. I had a talk with him yesterday about the whole dial-up. I cannot believe I'm talking to a generation of people that have never been on ISDN, have never been on 300 baud modems or 100 baud modems or teletype. Like Mike was like, "What the hell is that?"
Right. And I wanted to learn about it.
He doesn't
I
know
was
what a Hayes
actually like,
modem
hey.
is or nothing. That is so cool. Like Mike, have you ever really seen a payphone? Have you ever even
Yes,
really ever
I've used one.
Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, it does feel like dial up here. Is the big homie BD rocking a Commodore?
Look, you're oh yeah.
Commodore 64 was like one of the
Look, you're getting called out right now. Just
Oh, my
dial up,
goodness.
dial up, dial up.
Somebody said they're gonna have to pass the hat for me some minute. Bro, listen, we did everything we could do this morning. Except
Yeah, you rebooted your whole system, your whole modems, everything.
only thing I did not reboot was the hard drive, was the CPU. I think we'll do that tomorrow. Jesus.
No, I don't even think you need to do that, but yeah.
Well, back now, here's another thing, Mike. Back in the old days, when Bolo and I were on submarines, we used to run our whole submarine on a computer system called the ANUY Yuck 7s,
Mhm.
and these Yuck 7s were mainframe computers, and they took up like half of a room, and
Yeah, that comment right there is 100% right.
I don't have 100,000 tabs open anymore.
Easily.
I only
That
have
was at minimum, probably like close to a couple thousand.
yeah. But anyway, we used to have to shut our computers down once every 7 days.
Much love and respect. I appreciate you, Braun.
Okay, let's look and see what's going on here. What do we have for tabs that are open? Where's Google?
Oh my God, who cares about any of this?
Well,
Jesus, I'm removing that.
Of having 1,000 tabs open.
Who cares? Who cares?
I've only got 72 open.
Only 72. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I've only got 72 open.
Sounds good.
Right there.
And your entire computer is being overused. Look at that. It's incredible.
The CPU is only clocking at 27%, Mike. 27%. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Good enough. Good enough there, kind sir.
Okay. Just so we know.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm being mistreated right now.
You're being mistreated. Yeah, this is elder abuse.
I'll put your ass in jail.
Yeah, I know you will. I know you will.
Going on in the world here. Okay. Can we go over what's going on in the world? This is crazy. There was a transsexual prisoner over in, is that the right word? Transsexual? It says trans. That's short for transsexual, right? Transgender. I'm sorry. Transgender.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Same thing.
A notorious transgender prisoner was found dead in their cell a year after a proposed move to a women's prison was blocked. Now, they were going to move this guy to a women's prison, but like he'd been convicted of all these horrible crimes, many against women. And they were actually, this guy I think is in the UK, and they were actually going to move him, this violent man, to a women's prison. And then for some reason they said no, but they were actually considering it. So a notorious transgender prisoner was found dead in their cell. Look at even the newspaper, even the newspaper is kind of mad by kind of screwy in the way they say it. They won't call him a him or a her. or his or her. So they called him a there. How you can't use there for a single. This is like not even correct in English writing. A notorious transgender prisoner was found dead in their cell. Like we're just messing up the whole language and everything. You got to say his or her here. You can't say there.
Joseph is right here. A guy like that
needs to be in isolation.
Yep.
After a proposed move to a women's prison was blocked, Tiffany Scott, also known as Andrew Burns, had a reputation as one of the UK's most violent inmates and died on Thursday at age 32 in the Scottish Prison Service. The Scottish Prison Service confirmed. So here, one of the most UK's violent inmates, and they're going to put him in with women. Police Scotland said that it had responded to reports of a 32-year-old woman taking unwell at HMP Grampian in Peterhead on Wednesday morning, who later died in Aberdeen Royal Infirmary. The cause of death is unclear. A Police Scotland spokesperson said Scott was taken to Aberdeen Royal Infirmary where she died. So they finally called her a she here. The death is being treated as unexplained, and a report will be submitted to the procurator fiscal, whomever that is. The death of the violent trans inmate who was being held in a male jail comes.
Oh, look at Dragon getting tested again. Gotta love it. Cheers to everybody. Much love and respect wherever you guys are from. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you guys are. We're international with this. Look, he's spinning. We'll just go ahead and kick him out. Look, now it's our show. Yep, it's completely ours. Look, he had a reboot. Boom. Welcome back there, kind sir. Go ahead and share your screen again.
I still don't have full bars. Boy, we went 3 or 4 days without this problem, and then this has got to, man. Anyway, police said that they responded to reports that he died. The death of the violent trans inmate who was being held in a male jail.
Oh my God, Dragon.
What?
Dragon.
Again? Am I out again?
Yeah. Did you reboot up top? Refresh up there. Refresh, because you're going in and out like crazy. Jeez. Yeah, that's just part of the game, y'all. Hey, we do it live, y'all. We do it live. You know, that's just the way. That's the way of the live life. You know. Welcome back. Oh, okay. There we go. Welcome back. Share your screen. Yeah. Make sure you guys are liking the video, man. Sharing all of that. It's a huge algorithm boost for all of us.
Anyway, let's try this again. It looks like I'm out again.
You're good. You're good.
My bars say other. The death of the violent trans inmate who was being held in a male jail comes a year after a planned move to a women's facility was blocked in the wake of the Isla Bryson scandal. So who was Isla Bryson? What did she do? Trans rapist Isla Bryson told you're not the victim before being jailed for 8 years. A judge said Bryson would pose particularly significant risk to any woman with whom you form a relationship. A judge told a transgender rapist, Isla Bryson, that they were not the victim in this situation. So I guess Isla Bryson was somebody that they were going to put in a female prison. I guess they didn't. I need to go look at that and find out. But it was that incident that caused this guy not to be able to go to a women's prison, which is good because he was serving an indefinite sentence under an order for lifelong restriction and had been described as one of the most menacing people in the Scottish prison system. Were they going to really put this guy in with women? He had been deemed an unmanageable risk to public safety and could have only ever been released if it was decided that that was no longer the case. I've never really heard of a case that you are such a risk to public safety that even doing your time, they wouldn't let you out. That's crazy. He had a long history of violence. A move to a women's facility was said to have been approved last year for a man with a long history of violence. Do you hear this, Mike Ball?
Yeah.
However, gender self-ID rules in Scottish jails then torn up after Bryson, also known as Adam Graham, was initially sentenced to HMP Cornton's Vale, Scotland's only female jail, following a conviction of 2 counts of rape. So that's what. so they were going to take another man, Adam Graham, and put him in Scotland's only female jail after following a conviction of 2 counts of rape. You're going to put a man convicted of 2 counts of rape. And we said this. We joked about this, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Remember a long time ago, we said, okay, I identify as a woman. Send me to a female prison. It looks like somebody actually did that.
So I guess we're not the geniuses that we thought we were, you know what I mean? But no, it's something that I'm not surprised it's not been tested that hard yet.
It looks like it was, and they finally, somebody in Scotland had the common sense in this case to say hell no, and so that affected this case as well, especially the most menacing man in the UK. So listen, Scott had been convicted of a string of offenses, including stalking a 13-year-old girl from behind bars by sending letters. The convict had stalked a nurse in Cheshire in 2010 and committed a series of other offenses while in custody. This included attacking a prison nurse with a chair, punching and attempting to bite prison officers, smearing excrement and cell phones. Everyone needs to go back to that. Let me see that. Everyone needs to stop this crap. There is 2 genders, period. You can dress and act however you like, but you can't change biology. That's what Steve says. He attacked a nurse, committed a series of other offenses, including attacking a prison nurse. Another woman attacked another woman, a prison nurse, with a chair, punching and attempting to bite prison officers, smearing excrement in the cell, and ripping up a tear-proof clothing in a suicide attempt. How do you rip up tear-proof clothing? During a court appearance last year, Scott had to be accompanied by 7 guards when appearing to face assault charges. It took 7 guards to hold this man, and they're going to put him in a women's facility. The plan moved.
Holy shit.
It was approved. It was approved, Mike Baldwin. It was approved. The plan moved to a women's facility was reversed after a temporary ban on biological male inmates being sent to female jails was brought in amid a public backlash after the Bryson case. And maybe this is the video of that. Let's see if we can see it. Yeah, this is the Bryson case. Let's check this out. They're going to probably hit us with, no, they didn't.
To a women's prison, and for the legal reasons you've cited, I'll need to be careful about what I say. But this scenario is exactly what I tried to stop during the passage of Nicola Sturgeon's Gender Recognition Reform Bill. But I was voted down by the narrowest of margins, and even with the flawed bill in limbo, violent criminals are exploiting the system and putting vulnerable women at risk. So can the Cabinet Secretary tell me why his SNP government think that any rapist should be allowed inside a women's prison? Cabinet Secretary.
This has got to be a joke.
The Gender Recognition Reform Scotland Bill, had it not been stopped by another government completely wrongly, would not have changed the SPS's approach to trans prisoners, which is not dependent on the possession of a GRC. Possession of a gender recognition certificate will continue to have a minimal impact on how SPS manage transgender people. Their process is one based on the assessment of risk. I think that's the important thing to do. It's the assessment of risk. It's the assessment of risk for the individual, the assessment of risk for other prisoners, the assessment of risk for the prison staff as well. They have a tremendous track record in dealing with managing that risk. I would suggest they're far more expert in assessing that risk and dealing with it than any of us here in this chamber. I'll also point out this morning I visited SPS to discuss their management of risks in relation to serious and organised crime. The SPS is a fantastic organisation which deals with managing risks every day of the week. They have a great trans record in relation to trans prisoners, and I have faith in their ability to evolve their policy to continue that track record.
This is insane. This is insane.
This is crazy. Oh my God.
Cut the cap.
Hey,
Stop the cap.
listen here, Mike Ball. You don't know what you're talking about. You have no credentials in this, Mike Ball the Wise. And I would say they know way more than you guys over here. We're gonna
I can't handle it. I can't handle it.
We're gonna
I can't
put
handle
those
this world.
rapists in a female prison after we've accepted their. Okay, maybe we can't use these two, but the rest they'll be good.
That's like putting a rat into a box with cheese everywhere, and you tell the rat, do not eat any of the cheese, and then you just cover the box and you just let them go. Like that's essentially what's happening here.
A fox in a hen house.
That's what I'm saying. This is crazy that they're allowing. Dude, I can't handle this world. I can't.
Revised rules have since come into force in Scotland, in which it is stated trans inmates with a history of violence against women should not be placed in female jails unless there is compelling evidence they do not pose an unacceptable risk of harm. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. So they're still going to put, they will still put trans inmates with a history of violence against women inside female jails if they're.
I love that, Ghost. That's priceless right there. Absolutely. Identify as a popsicle. Yeah. Black Dragon, welcome back. It sounds like you're just coming back. I was hanging out with the chat.
I saw that. I saw his thing. Anyway, Scott began claiming. Okay, so check this out. So this guy that they were going to send over there, check this out. They said, so however, those seen as too dangerous to be placed in female jails permanently can still be offered chances to mingle with female inmates temporarily in the bid to support their gender identity. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. What are you looking at me like that for, Mike Ball? I'm just trying to get with the program.
I can't handle this. I just can't with this.
Also, Scott, this guy that they were going to, the most menacing prisoner in Scotland, this guy, the most feared prisoner in Scotland, began claiming to identify as a transgender in 2016. Scottish prison bosses took the claim seriously and respected previous demands from the prisoner to be referred to as Mr. Mighty Almighty. He wanted to be called Mr. Mighty Almighty.
I can't. See, I can't. Like, this is so retarded. I'm sorry.
You can't use that word. You cannot use that word.
That's on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
We're on YouTube. This is retarded.
Oh, shit. In 2015, prison. Yeah, but they're still gonna limit us, Mike. Don't use that word.
No, they're not.
In 2015, prison staff in riot gear had to save Scott's life after the inmate used excrement to obscure staff's view into the cell. He tore supposedly tear-proof clothing into fashioning a noose. He made a noose out of tear-proof clothing, which was suspended from a sprinkler valve where he tried to kill himself. A prison officer giving evidence in court said of the clothing, it's supposed to be unterrible, but Tiffany could rip it up no problem. Are they calling this person Tiffany for real? Tiffany so strong she can rip up tear-proof clothing.
Look at this. Everyone in the chat.
Stop the
cap.
Oh my God.
Stop it, Black Dragon. Just stop. A Scottish prison service spokesperson said, Tiffany Scott, 32 of HMP Grampian, has died, so he'll no longer be of any consequence to us. But he died on 29 February 2024. With each death in custody, Police Scotland are advised and the matter reported to the Procurator Fiscal. Fatal accident inquiries are held in due course. Okay, so his arrest will be looked at, or his death will be looked at, and we'll find out whether or not. Meanwhile, this guy still lives. Trans rapist Isla Bryson And he may wind up in a female prison, even though he was he raped what, 2 women?
I can't handle this.
He's in jail for 8 years.
Yeah, as you go out again, here, I'll pull that down so his bandwidth comes back. Let's see. 3, 2. You know what I need? I need to get the soundtrack of that Wheel of Fortune sound. Or no, not Wheel of Fortune. That. I gotta get that. What game show is that again? I'm trying to remember the name of the game show. You guys are gonna have to remind me.
Man, this is the worst it's been in a while. It hasn't been this bad in a long time.
I'm gonna get a special song ready for this. Anyways, you go ahead.
You know, this is what's really weird, Mike, that I don't understand about what's going on.
Hey, it's all part of the game. Jeopardy, thank you.
Speed test, it says we've got over 300 meg down. Look at that. Internet speed test says we're stomping booty.
Oh my God.
Am I out again?
Yeah, you're going in and out crazily. It's awesome. It's awesome. I love it. You're doing your thing, Black Dragon. You're doing your thing. All right.
There's the problem right there. Only 5.7 megs up. There's the problem.
Oh
right
my
there.
God. You can't stream. The minimum you need is 15 at the bare minimum. Like I run 100 up.
You know what I'm
Hey,
getting
you're probably on the wrong Wi-Fi setting because you reset your router. You may be on the wrong router. That could be too. You could be on the wrong router.
Take over for a minute, Mike.
Yeah. Look. This is what we give. This is what we give Black Dragon. Yeah. So we'll go ahead. You gotta love it, guys. Oh my God. Hey, give a thumbs up. Like the video, share it, and please make sure you're subscribed to the channel. So while we hang out for a second, and I'm gonna stop the cap with the Jeopardy music. So while we're hanging out for just a moment, one thing I will show is the very special thing that, just in case you guys missed it yesterday, something special in my life that happened to me yesterday. It's a marking day, and I'm going to go ahead and show it to you guys now. Marking day history of my life. 2021, 3 years ago today, I got into a motorcycle accident that changed my life. Unfortunately, there was someone that was a drunk driver and made an illegal left turn at 80 miles per hour, T-boning me and severing my leg off at the scene. With my blood squirting out like a garden hose, I didn't think I was going to make it. My back being completely broken and not being able to use my arms to even tourniquet myself. I'm so blessed to still be here. Yeah, look, my internet go out. And stand in front of you today to show you that you can still prosper. You can still have a meaningful, successful life. 28 days out of the hospital, I was back on my motorcycle to show and prove to you and everyone else out there, you can conquer something that is so traumatic and you can still win. Why is it that you can conquer all of this and move on? Why can't I conquer this and move on? this is something that is a part of me in my life now, something that I cherish and actually love. So, that was yesterday was my 3rd ampiversary, as we call it, in my community. So yeah, it's officially been my 3rd year, and I'm loving it, man. I'm so blessed with the doors that have been opened up to me because of it, and I'm very honored to be recognized and be able to be a lead of the charge of what I'm doing, with people that might be amputated, whether it's from war, whether it's from motorcycle wrecks or whatever it is. That's what I talk about very heavily on my social medias. Welcome back. Welcome back, Black Dragon. Welcome back. Are we doing the test now for everybody?
So it's 15 megs up now, 21 milliseconds latency.
Nice.
That latency was down to 32 megs, but I still don't have any. Okay, so I think I know what the problem is.
No worries.
We're going to take that backup system out. I think that's what's happening. The backup system's taking over. All right. Oh, what a pain. I hate live.
I love Shinko tires. It just depends on the way you ride, Jason. It's depending if you're riding like trails and stuff like that, and you're doing a whole bunch of stuff. It just depends on the stickiness that you want.
All right. So can we get back to this, or where are we at?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Bryson, who committed the attacks while still known as Adam Graham, was sentenced to a high court in Edinburgh. So they were going to put this guy basically in a women's prison, and I guess they decided not to do it. He was put in the women's prison. Look at this.
Oh, you actually is.
Scotland said this yesterday. I don't see how it's possible to have a rapist within a female prison. And so let me be very clear. I agree with that statement. Bearing in mind what I've just said about the importance of individualised risk assessment as a general principle and presumption, I think that statement is correct. Now, it would not be appropriate for me, in respect of any prisoner, to give details of where they are being incarcerated. But given the understandable public and parliamentary concern in this case, I can confirm to Parliament that this prisoner will not be incarcerated at Cornton Vale Women's Prison.
So can I ask the First Minister, above asking where he currently is, was there any ministerial involvement in the decision to send this rapist to a women's prison? And before that 72 hours expire tomorrow, will the First Minister personally intervene and remove this double rapist from Cornton Vale?
First Minister.
I think I'd repeat some of what I've already said, but let me be clear. This prisoner is not going to be incarcerated in Cornton Vale, either short term or long term.
Interesting.
They're serious about it.
They're very serious. So this ain't no joke.
They seriously were going to put this man they seriously did put this man in a women's prison. That happened.
It sure did. It sure did.
That is the craziest shiznit.
It is.
That I've ever seen.
It's radical. Unacceptable.
This world is not doing the right things.
Yeah, we're definitely on some wrong path. BS right now.
Not doing the right things, man. Okay.
No.
Next story. They're gonna make Trump give this woman $83 million.
Another civil case, I'm guessing.
I don't think there's any way out of it for him. Former President Donald Trump must scramble to cover millions in legal fines. It could start to come to a head next week, as the ex-president has only until next weekend to pay $83.3 million verdict to E. Jean Carroll's defamation lawsuit, unless a court rules otherwise. And Carroll expressed very strong concerns Thursday about Donald Trump's ability to pay. Here are the facts. A jury ordered Trump to pay $83.3 million to Carroll for defamation based on these attacks against the writer after she accused him of sexual assault. Then he said a whole bunch of stuff about her, and she sued him. And the formal court judgment was entered February 8th. She sued him, and he still kept talking about her, so she sued him again.
Oh.
Here's my question. I'm just going to put this question out there. How can your reputation, and I don't know, I'm not trying to start nothing. I just want to know, how can your reputation be worth $83.3 million when you weren't worth $83.3 million to begin with?
Yep. These greedy bitches.
Mike, you just...
Sorry. It's
you
just
want us demonetized, right? That's what you want? You just want us demonetized?
you're already demonetized, so I'm the one taking full risk.
Make me never be back monetized again. Mike Ball. Mike Ball the wise is not being wise.
Listen, we had to stop the cap here. You know,
Stop the cap.
To get serious.
Mike Ball the wise is just not being wise right now.
I'm just speaking facts.
Oh,
that's
my
all
God.
that's happening. That's all that's happening is I'm speaking straight.
Of course, you can say that.
Fact.
You can say that.
Listen, I am, like you say, I'm a biker, not a choir boy. Okay?
Did I say
Listen,
that?
I learned from the OGs. Okay,
Mike, you can say greedy bitches if you're talking about everybody that's coming after him. Oh my goodness! If you're talking about everybody that's coming after him, I suppose you can say that. But here's what I don't understand about this. I put it on silent and it's still making noise. I don't get it.
I was gonna tell you after the show, dude. You've got to mute your damn phone during our show. Yeah, and then he just lags out. Look at him. He just sits here and lags out. Oh, welcome back. You're not welcome back. You look great. At least this time you're not fuzzy. That's great. You don't look like 8-bit, you know, from a Nokia
I just want to know, Mike, how the hell you can be worth $83 million when you weren't worth even $5 million before?
I got the answer and you don't like it. I got the answer and you don't like it.
No, we're not saying these greedy V words. We're not saying that again. Based on his attack against the writer after she accused him of sexual assault, he was ordered to pay $83.3 million. I could see, $300,000 or $400,000, maybe even $1 million. Black Dragon should be worth $1 million or $2 million, but $83 million? Damn. Hey, Donald, why don't you say something mean about me? I want to be one of the greedy V words too. Anyway. The ex-president has asked the court to pause the judgment against him while post-trial motions in the case. The judge has said so far, no, you haven't shown me an opinion. You haven't shown me a reason why I should hold it up for 30 days. I'm not going to do it. Trump's filing asked to pause the monetary judgment simply asked the court to trust me and offers in a case with an $83.3 million judgment against him. The court filing equivalent of a paper napkin signed by the least trustworthy of borrowers, says Carroll's attorney. Of course, she's been saying all that. Anyway, when I was reading this, I was just saying to myself, how are you worth $83 million? I mean, just because somebody worth $83 million said something negative about you. Now you're worth $83 million too? Huh, Mike the Wise? I want to know.
It's kind of like when a woman, she's a single woman and she gets on a yacht, all this, and she ends up having, a good time with a millionaire. And she gets off that yacht, and now she thinks that that is the level of people she is going to mess with,
What we
right?
call that is running up the price of the game.
Well, the thing is the game though is the guys that are millionaires. They're never gonna. Men are the ones that decide who's in a relationship. Women decide who have sex with. Okay. So we're the ones that put them in a relationship or not. So can they actually hold down a millionaire?
Well,
The
she
answer
held one down
99.
for
It
a
doesn't
little while.
matter. Hey, being in the sex only category is definitely a thing for these millionaires. Just saying.
So, like R. Kelly and a whole bunch of other ones, they wind up getting the worst things happening to them because they maybe you should have a form that's signed. Jason Steve says, I'll be lucky to be worth 83 cents. And Jason and everybody who sent me money for my dog, and I'm so glad you guys helped contribute to the $2,800 bill. I actually it was the dogs turned out well. Both of the dogs are well and healing. And they are doing much better. The little dog, the pit is now at Tia's house, and this dog is just no worse for the wear. He had some bites in his head, and they just healed up. The doctors gave me these pills. So I exhausted the pills on the dogs. I went to 2 different doctors. So I got what do you call them? Those things that antibiotics. I got antibiotics, and the dogs are doing well. Brutus was a little more injured, but his wounds are now scabs. But you can see where that dog bit him in the head and went through damn near went through his skull. He was leaking clear fluid out of his head for a while. So
yeah, he was.
Thank you everybody for your love and support. Thank you so much, man. So yeah, Brutus, where are you, man? Brutus. So yeah, he's his same self, won't listen to me and stuff. Okay, next story. New York AG sends Nassau County officials cease and desist order over transport ban. Okay, so you guys all know Letitia James. Is that her last name, James? Letitia something. She's the one who prosecuted Trump. So she's probably going to make y'all even madder because she has just sent a cease and desist order to Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman Friday, demanding that he rescind an executive order that prohibits transgender athletes from competing in girls' and women's sports. So I just thought I'd let you guys see that the same dumb craziness is going on in the United States as well.
Yep, of course it is.
In the press release by the Attorney General's office, the executive order Blakeman signed last week was slammed as discriminatory and a violation of New York's civil and human rights laws. So Letitia, I can't remember her last name. I want to say James, but I could be wrong. But anyway, the Letitia James, yeah, that is her name. Letitia James, there it is. The executive order discriminates against transgender women and girls simply for being who they are, and against teams that include transgender women and girls on their rosters, in clear violation of New York's civil and human rights laws, the press release states. So we're going to sue you if you don't take that down. In the cease and desist order sent today, The Office of the Attorney General, OAG, demanded that Nassau County rescind the order in 5 days or else face additional legal action. District Attorney James reiterated that the threat of legal action in a statement released. She reiterated that threat of legal action in a statement released by the office. The law is perfectly clear. You cannot discriminate against a person because of their gender, identity, or expression. We have no room for hate or bigotry in New York, she said. The executive order is transphobic and blatantly illegal. Nassau County must immediately rescind the order, or we will not hesitate to take decisive legal action. Blakeman's executive order prevents transgender athletes or teams with transgender athletes from using the county sports venues. So if you got a team with transgenders on it, you cannot use the county park recreation center or whatever. What we are saying here today with our executive order is that if the league or team identifies themselves or advertises themselves to be girls or women's league or team, then biological males should not be competing in the leagues. That's what Blakeman said in a recent press conference announcing the law. If you're a female team, you can't have any biological males on it. Somebody said I should be working. What they say, I should be working. Black Dragon, so let's hope I don't get fired for hanging with you for the show. Or I won't even be worth 83 cents. Man, don't let me get you fired. Blakeman responded to Friday cease and desist notice on social media, indicating he has no plans to rescind the executive order. My EO stops the bullying of women and girls by my executive order. EO stands for executive order. My EO stops the bullying of women and girls by transgender males who have many outlets to compete without putting the safety and security of females in danger. And that's true. If you got a male-bodied person on a football team and you have women on that football team and he attacks a girl, he tackles a girl, he could really, guys hit harder than women, I think.
So there's actually a study that there's a full-on study on this, and I forget the exact website, and I can get it for you guys, no problem. But what it is it shows the high school students that were boys, men, whatever you want to call them, high school level, they were out-competing the gold Olympians in the exact same thing, and they were doing better numbers than the gold Olympians for the women. So there's actual studies of showing those high school students compared to the Olympians that are women. So absolutely, 1000%, it's a fact that men just have a little bit more
harder.
Yeah, and
there are no women on the NFL whatsoever because if there was a woman hitting as hard as any man, she'd be able to play, I think.
Listen, there's always exceptions to the rule. You know what I mean? But the exception does not make the rule. But there are, of course, exceptions. If you can play, then hey, you can hang. If you can hang, you can hang. Whatever. I'm just saying.
They got one female kicker that's looking at going pro, and word has it she kicks pretty good. The problem is if you get past the center and you tackle her butt, is she going to still be able to do her thing? In Nassau, Blakeman says, in Nassau, we will continue to fight for females' rights to be safe, secure, and have a level playing field to compete, which is fair. According to
Wayne, sorry to cut you off real quick. K. Wayne, I will go ahead and get you that study. And then I've done extensive research on this, so I will go ahead and send it to you and blow your mind. So,
no, sir, you reach peak physical form in your mid-20s, Mike. So
I'm not saying that I'm talking about a whole different thing.
K. Wayne is saying there's no difference in male and female sports.
That's very, very, very not a fact.
At the high school level.
Very not a fact. Definitely not a fact.
Well, we shall see. That'll be a good. I can't wait till you guys argue that one. In Nassau, we will continue to fight for women. According to the cease and desist letter, the executive order will affect approximately 100 sites. In addition to threats of legal action, the Attorney General is asking Blakeman to produce any and all documents constituting the record supporting your decision to issue the order. So she's kind of like Kay Wayne. Show me the proof, says Letitia.
Now hold on. So Kay Wayne said that's not at all what I said.
Oh, let's not curse at each other. Let's not curse at each other. Or was that at me?
I think he was talking about us.
I'm sorry, gatekeeper. I didn't mean to read
into it the wrong way.
Thank you.
On accident, the wrong context. It's okay.
So a horror villain fan says women and men cannot be trans. It's been psychologically proven that homosexuality is a state of mind. Oh my gosh. We're just, all of the junior psychiatrists and psychologists have hit the airwaves this morning. All right, next story.
Give a thumbs up on the like on the video, man. This is awesome.
FBI arrests journalist Steve Baker over his January 6th coverage. This is particularly frightening because we're investigators. We're journalists, Mike, you and I. And so, can you imagine the FBI coming and arresting us over a story? An investigative journalist for The Blaze, I don't know who they are, who, just like nobody knows who Black Dragon Biker TV is, right? But an investigative journalist for The Blaze who has extensively covered the FBI's handling of the January 6, 2021 Capitol protest and incursion was arrested Friday and charged with multiple alleged crimes. It's interesting how people state things. The Wall Street Journal called it, like CNN calls it, the Capitol riot of January 6th. The Western Journal calls it the the Capitol protest and incursion. I love all this.
It's whoever paid them is how they've got to explain it.
I love it, man.
The narrative that needs to be painted.
The Capitol protest and incursion. The outlet reported Friday that reporter Steve Baker was charged with 4 misdemeanors that were related to the coverage of the events of that day. A video posted on social media platform X showed the moment Baker turned himself in to agents with the FBI's Dallas field office. Blaze Media investigative journalist TPC4 USA has now been taken into FBI custody for his January 6th reporting. TPC4 USA, they call him. Baker is charged with knowingly entering and remaining in any restricted building on or grounds without lawful authority. Okay, let me say that again. He's charged with knowingly entering or remaining in any technical. What's wrong with me? He is charged with knowingly entering or remaining in any restricted building or grounds without lawful authority, disorderly and disruptive conduct in a restricted building or grounds, disorderly conduct in a Capitol building, and parading, demonstrating, or picketing in a Capitol building. So he was charged with what everybody else was charged with, only he's a news guy covering the news in there. Ouch. The charges were filed in federal court on February 21st. So just about a week ago or so, a week or two ago. According to The Blaze, the reporter did not discover he had been charged with any crimes until earlier this week. They waited like a long time. That was like 2021. Yeah. One of Baker's attorneys called the fact really unusual in comments to the outlet and questioned why the federal government waited days to inform his client that he'd even been charged. Dallas-based attorney James Lee Bright said he was disturbed by his client's treatment and also said Baker had been cooperative with the FBI for several years. Baker's legal team told The Blaze that the arrest had been expected for some time. They speculated it was an act of retribution for his reporting on the Justice Department's aggressive actions toward people who were at or near the Capitol on January 6th during the incursion after the protest.
So, 1 second here. So look at this. SNS says the FBI has put out a classified memo to all police stations that all journalists are to be considered as domestic terrorists. I'll see if I can find a copy of it and send it out to you, Mike. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. That's a oh shit moment.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, just go ahead and demonetize us. Steve's actions on January 6th have been known to the Department of Justice for 3 years. A statement from Baker's legal team read, it concluded, but it is only now after Steve has broken 2 major stories greatly embarrassing to the Department of Justice that he's possibly being targeted for arrest and possibly felony prosecution. All of those are 4 misdemeanors, so I don't know. Any action taken to put him in handcuffs, hold him in custody, and have him transported to court by federal law enforcement will be other than retaliation.
Oh. Is he going out, y'all? Is he going out? Is it time? It's time. It's time, y'all. It's time.
I'm getting that internet company back out here today, bro. They got to figure out what the hell this is.
Steve Easy. Totally. Oh man, I got him good. Hey, and by the way, what makes you think that you can't curse on YouTube? You can absolutely curse all you want and be monetized.
Mike,
Just
you're
like-
the one. I'm following Mike the Wise here.
But I was curious as to thinking, like, did you think you can't curse on YouTube? But anyways,
I've cut the cursing down to a very bare minimum.
yeah,
over the
yeah,
years.
of course. So have I.
Over the years. All right. I think it's an hour. We can't. Yeah, it's enough. I'll get the rest of these
You know,
stories.
we got so much internet. Well, we got so many stories, and we got so many internet problems.
Man, I got stories out the yin yang, man. They're a lot of fun. But
We can save some of them for tomorrow.
yeah.
Yeah. I think that was fantastic.
Did you have fun, Mike?
I had a blast.
Mike, but this,
I always do.
This thing about this putting rapists in female prisons, like this.
I don't get that. You know,
this
like,
can't be serious. We care more about the rights of the people who could not conform with society in the first place.
right, less than 1%.
You got the right
less
to be
than
anything you want to
1%.
be. You got the right to be anything you want to be until you go to prison. Now you got to be what we say until you get out.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, we're catering to less than 1% of the population and allowing loopholes to now be created. And look at what's happening. A rapist is literally going in. I mean, it's not like his stuff downstairs has been chopped off. You know what I mean?
Chemically.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is nothing is starting to surprise me anymore. I'm just getting tired of it. Tired of the crap. This is all crap.
Rocky Horror Picture Show 2024. Do you know about the Rocky Horror Picture Show, Mike?
I have actually participated at the original Rocky Horror Picture Show in Long Beach. Don't play me.
Okay. So tell me what happens then.
Oh, it gets freaking crazy.
I'll say something and you say what you do. There's a light. What do you do?
I don't remember in that.
Oh my God, you don't know what to do when they sing the song. There's a light.
There's so many. The whole thing is a musical. So
you hold up your lighter right then.
Okay, there you go. Okay, I can participate in that. No, but that's the least of the worries.
Okay, I'll say something and then you finish.
No,
Damn it.
I don't
Damn it.
remember the songs like that.
Damn it, Janet.
I don't remember the lyrics like
I
that.
love you. You're hurting me.
See? No, see, you're a real fan. You know, like the actual, you know, the actual songs. And
I know the songs, bro.
I go for the experience and the adventure. You go to like, because you're an actual fan. I see.
Every weekend for a decade.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
my
right.
goodness.
That's right, Steve.
Stop the cap.
Oh my goodness. Look at Peter Berdahl. he just tore it up. Anyway, that was a very interesting thing, bro.
Yeah, this was a wild episode.
Yeah, wild episode.
So we going TikTok live right after this?
Yeah, I guess we are.
So check us out on TikTok, y'all. Make sure you follow Black Dragon's TikTok here. It's Black Dragon Biker TV.
All one word.
It should say TikTok in there in his little thing there too, but it's the same thing. And then mine's Ball Valve TV. And you guys can follow us over there, and we're gonna have a blast.
See y'all.
Yeah. All right. Much love and respect, everybody. We'll see you guys on the flips.
I'm Black Dragon. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please get my books. You can also donate to us, help the channel out since we're not monetized right now. But we're still having a blast, man. Love y'all. Thanks for tuning in and get skinny. Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book.
Get Black Dragon's first book, The Prospect's Bible, to learn how to join a motorcycle club. It has been an Amazon #1 bestseller for the past 7 years and is required reading for over 3,000 motorcycle clubs worldwide. This book is a must-have for new people venturing onto the motorcycle club set. It will teach you how to prepare yourself for service to the motorcycle club nation and show you how to qualify a motorcycle club to be worthy of your service. Available on Amazon, Kindle, and for order at your local bookstore. Get your autographed copy at blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club prospect you can be. Get the book.